Masachet Batra Daf Kof Yod Het. Continuing from Kof Yod Zayin on Woodbed, 14 lines down. Amar le Papa de Rabbaye. Lot of questions. Siman Rav Sachat Sevich Bab Min Asher Hashem. Okay. Based on the land of Mario to Mitzrayim not Halakar, it makes sense according to the opinion has said that the Eretz Israel was split according to those who left Mitzrayim. I know the Tid the Rav Tarbe Nahatom Ma'at Tamid Nahato. That's why the Pasuk says, seemingly, it makes sense. The pasuk says that for the people who had a lot of children, you get more inheritance. People who have less children, you get less inheritance. Seemingly, each family member gets according to their size, and that's according to left Misraim. Boom. Sounds beautiful. The man that marked the Bible in Israel, but according to the opinion holds that no, it gets split according to those who entered Eretz Israel. My love, what does that mean? Gemara says kasha. It's a good question. Another question. Based on the man that Mitzrayim makes, it's according to the opinion holds that Eretz Israel was split according to the one who left Mitzrayim. I know the Tatzav Khan ben Tzadchad. That's why Tzadchad's daughters were upset. Meaning, how come we don't get land? Our father left Mitzrayim. But if according to the opinion that hold only got land if you enter Eretz Israel, what were they complaining about? Tzadchad's dead and they don't get anymore. Versus Ella, no, Ella Hazra, maybe they were saying that it should, since their father died, the land should revert according to those who had left Eretz Israel. And therefore they should get a share via Hefer, their grandfather, that they were missing out. Next question. Since according to being held that the land is split according to left Mitzrayim. That's why the children of Yosef were upset. Because why? They had less people when they first left Mitzrayim or earlier, and they grew into a mass like 60%, I believe. Over 60% increase since Mitzrayim to Eretz since they got there. And therefore, the Pasuk says, Bnei Yosef spoke to Yeshua, saying, how come we gave us such small land? We grew. According to being told that the land was split according to entered the land. Yosef. What was the problem of Yosef? If technically when they got to Eretz Israel, they got according to their size. The Gemara says no. No, even if according to being held when they entered Eretz Israel, they still were upset because technically they had a lot of children, and those children needed land in the future as well, and that's what they were upset about. Okay, we see from here. There was nobody who entered the land who did not take a portion. These are the because if you want to say that there was someone who didn't receive anything, someone should have complained like Tzlofchad's daughter, so must be no one else lost. We might say maybe the pasuk only mentioned people who complained and won with their complaint and received, and that's where the pasuk reacts it. That maybe pasuk won't mention people who were not successful. Because but we see that Yosef's children complained and they still didn't receive anything. Gemara says no. Maybe the reason why it mentioned Yosef is because the Torah was teaching us, even though they weren't successful, the Torah was teaching you something else. What was the advice they were teaching you? Yeshua was teaching them, be careful of ayin hara, because behind that comes Yeshua. That Yeshua told them, Tativ. If you have a lot of people, go to the forest. Amar he told them, go hide in the forest, so that the ayin hara doesn't reach you because you have so many children. Amar they answered him, Yosef, we come from the children of Yosef. You don't have ayin hara. See, Pasuk says, Ben porat Yosef, Ben porat ale ayin. What does that mean? Al tikre ale ayin doesn't mean ole ayin. Ale ayin rather. Ole ayin, we rise above the eye. Children of Yosef will grow like fish. Just like a fish, water covers them. They have no ayin hara. After Rosh Yosef and ayin must have been there. So also the children of Yosef have no ayin hara, and that's why people have minhag to have fish things in their house. Regarding the spies, we said earlier Yoshua and Caleb took their portions. You know what I mean? I know this. Amar Klab Asus Yeshua ben Nun v'Kaleb ben Fina Hayu min ha'anashim ahem. My Hayu, what do you mean they lived? Either Mahim Mashi telling me they actually lived. Ha'aktiv Kra Achrina, but another pasuk says, "V'lo natam ahem ish ki im Kaleb ben Yefina v'Yeshua ben Nun." We have different pasuk tells you they're alive. Ella, but to teach you, my Hayu, what does it mean they lived from the spies? Shahayum b'Halkan, they lived through their portions. They are able to take their portions. Mitlo Nanim Badat Korach Lo Yelahan Hagaraz. The pasuk Gemara said that the people who complained from Korach and the people of Korach didn't have a portion. But Tana Brother says, Meraglim mitlonanim batat korach. The spies, the complainers, and the people from Korach, Yeshua, Kalev, and Hakam, Yeshua and Kalev took their portions. This is lakashin, not a question. More makish mitlonanim meraglim. One rabbi holds that we compare the people who are complaining to the spies more lo makish mitlonanim meraglim. We don't one doesn't compare them, and they didn't lose it. Ten verse says Avinu met bababar. The daughters of Tzlopchad said that their father died in the wilderness. Tzlopchad is referring to Tzlopchad, but who lo haya b'toch Aida, he was not in the Edah, he wasn't in the assembly because Ze'adat Meraglim, he wasn't part of the Meraglim. He didn't die from the Meraglim. And therefore, these are referring to the people. This is referring to the complainers, Baladat Korach, when it says they were part of the Korach. Kimashmo, they meant that they were actually, these people who quote unquote were complaining, were actually the people who were part of the Korach. Mar Markish Meton Meraglim, people who compare the complainers to the Meraglim, meaning that they're mentioned together. Teach you, and that's how he learns it, that they're comparable, and therefore they lost it. And more Lo Makish Meraglim, and other rabbis said that they're not compared, and therefore their portion wasn't given to Yoshua and Caleb. According to being held that they are compared, and Yoshua and Caleb did get it. Can it be that they kept on getting portions of everything, meaning that of Eretz Israel, meaning that a lot of people complained during time in Eretz Israel. So every time someone complained, Yoshua and Caleb got it. The Gemara says no. When it says the complainers, mean they were part of the complainers who were part of Korach, not just regular complaining. They didn't lose their portion. Another question: you know the people who left Mitzrayim got a portion of Eretz. That's why Pesach says 10 portions came to Menashe because he had 10. Shita de Shita Betatavot 6 because he had 6 houses of sons. Babadi 2 and the 4 daughters through Silaf Chad. Asra, that's 10. El Mandamar the Bede Ares, but according to the Benin holds that people who entered Israel, Tmana Huda Havu, there shall only be 8. Shita de Betavot 6 for the 6 boys. Utred Didu and 2 portions of the daughters. Hatmana, that's only 8. So how come we see 10? Must be the 10 because you left Mitzrayim. The Gemara says no. That's according to reason. Mandamar Mitzrayim Halakar, even according to the Benin holds you left Mitzrayim. Tish'ah Havu should be 9. So why? Because the only 3 were mentioned for the daughters, and there was 5 daughters. Then remember how they explain it? It must be the daughters of Tzlachad had one uncle through their father who left Mitzrayim, died without children, and that's how they got it. Hachinami, that's how we can explain this pasuk. Over here we said that they left Mitzrayim. Maybe they had another 2 uncles, and that's how they got 2 additional portions. We should give the inheritance to them. Zunah is referring to the inheritance of their father. Among the father's brothers, Zunah is referring to the grandfather's Hefer's portions. You shall pass the inheritance of their father to them. Zunah is referring to the firstborn portion. Even to the portion of their uncles. Who says, Naton Titen, you shall surely give multiple. Double expression means teaching you something new. According to there was 2 uncles. Extra word of possession of inheritance. The extra word of possession teaches you there was another uncle. Last part. Another question. When the pasuk mentions the 10 portions of Menashe, what portions are we counting? Each of them kahashiv, we're counting kids under 20. Tuvahavi, there was more than 10. Ibatavot kashiv, talking about boys. Shitahavi, there were only 6. So how come they were counted? When it says Lolam bate abot kahashi, they're really counting boys. The Hakam Ashman was to teach you regarding the 4 portions of the girls. They took the portions that their father would have gotten, the firstborn portion. Amar Eretz Yisrael, he teaches you the land of Eretz Yisrael is considered to be in possession of those left Eretz Mitzrayim. Not that, okay, when you get there, you'll get it. No. When they left Mitzrayim, they owned it. And that's why when the father, Hefer, died, they were able to receive it from their grandfather from beforehand, so that when they got there, they already owned it.